How you doing? So today I put the watercolors aside for a second and I'm answering a question about painting on digital a digital platform to make it look like a painting, like an actual painting, also referred to as a painterly painting. So I want to show you how I did this picture of Princess Catherine. I did it on my iPad using the Procreate app, and I kept it so that it's got a painterly look. I don't know if you can tell in that from the video right there, but you'll see when you watch this video. And let me show you how I did that. All right, let's do a portrait using the Procreate app, a portrait of Princess Catherine. The first thing I want to do is I want to turn the background to a gray scale. That way I can see the whites easier. The next thing I want to do is I want to get the brush that is considered, I think I'll use the oil paint brush. Okay, so let's get started with that. And here's my reference photo. I'm going to enlarge it so that I can see it clearer. And I'll just start adding some color to Catherine's face and using the stylus, the Apple pencil. I will work around for her eye first and just kind of grab the color from the reference photo. You see how I do that? I just tap it in there, and I just want to get some of the contrasting colors, the darks and the lights, and just place them all in there, because once I get them in there, then I can work with them. It's kind of like having paint on your palette. Just gives you an opportunity to work with it a little bit better. Anyway, so yeah, I haven't demonstrated a digital picture in a while, and I've really been enjoying the watercolors, the watercolor landscapes. Those are really great. So, but this is a portrait, and the thing with portraits is you have to get them. You have to get the likeness, because people will know who it's supposed to be. And if you don't get it, then it won't. It's good. You can't get it. You have to have the likeness. That's what I say. You have to have the likeness. Catherine's eye real big. The big eye. Yeah, that's kind of what you have to do. So, and I like being able to zoom in on the Procreate app, like I'm doing here. I'm just scrubbing in the colors. It's kind of hard to tell what color eyes Catherine has, but I'm gonna say they're hazel. And just work from here. Make sure the brush is the right size. So, I actually did a portrait of Catherine using watercolor and gouache. I just wasn't happy with it, and the reason I think what I did wrong was I was trying to videotape myself doing it at the same time, so that was hard because of the paint and all that. Digital's a lot easier to videotape while you're working digital. So anyway, so I had a flat tire yesterday. I may have told you that already, but today I went and got it fixed. I got it replaced, and Robin drove me to the tire place. Yeah, I have a spare on my car, so I could have driven myself, but it was one of those donut spares, and they don't look safe to me. I have seen people on the interstate driving like super fast, and they have the donut on the car. It's like, whoa, you're not supposed to go over 45 with those things, but people do. Catherine has very long eyelashes, like my sister. My sister Doreen had long eyelashes. She's not with us anymore. She died very young. She was in her 40s. But she was pretty, like that, like Catherine. Did I say Diana? I meant Catherine. If I said Diana, sorry. I watched the special on, I think it was Netflix, where it was called The Crown, I think. Robin is very, very interested in the royal family, so I watched it too. And I learned more than I ever knew. Of course, it was a movie, so you don't know how true to the real story it was. But that's the way it goes, right? The news lately with Catherine and Charles, again, I'm not a real big follower of them, but Robin is, so I keep up with it a little bit. And yeah, it sounds like she's got she's got cancer, it sounds like, and so does Charles, the King Charles. All our lives we called him Prince Charles. Now, do you know, we spoke to a guy, Robin and I spoke to a guy who knew Prince Charles, King Charles, when he was a prince. And this guy that we spoke to, this is a very interesting thing. Robin and I did, for those of you who don't know, Robin and I did a radio show for a long time. We did 2 shows. Well, we did more than 2, but we did 2 adult shows. Adult, you know what I mean. I don't mean that kind of adult shows. I mean, we did children's shows, but we also did regular shows, like news shows. That's what I mean by adult. Jeez, gotta explain everything. But anyway, we interviewed this guy from Lord and Taylor. Do you know the store? Lord and Taylor was I don't know if it was everywhere, but it was a big deal in New York City. Sorry. Anyway, Robin and I interviewed him, I think because he wrote a book or something. And I wish I could remember his name, but he was such a nice guy. And Lord and Taylor closed, and it became a WeWork location. I don't know if it still is or not. It was on 5th Avenue, not too far from Saks Fifth Avenue, not too far from St. Patrick's Cathedral, if you're familiar with those areas, up in New York City. Anyway, we spoke to him, and he had gone to England for something and had an opportunity to have dinner with Prince Charles. It was not him by himself, it was other people from Lord and Taylor, but that's what it was. It was a Lord and Taylor kind of a thing. And so he got to go, and he was very nice, and he wrote a book. I wish I could tell you what the book was, but he sent us ornaments, Christmas ornaments, that he made from leftover fabric from Lord and Taylor. I think he might have been a fashion designer, I'm not sure. But anyway, so regarding Prince Charles, he told us that he was just a down-to-earth guy. He was, it's all the what do you call it? What do you call it when you're A little bit nervous to be around somebody. Starts with an A. What's that word? Well, whatever it is. What is that word? I feel like I want to tell you that word. Intimidated. Starts with an I. That's why I couldn't think of it. I was thinking the wrong letter. But anyway, he said he was intimidated, because Prince Charles is Prince Charles, and I guess it's the same with any celebrity. Why am I not getting any paint on here? Come on, do your job. Come on, there you go. Trying to get these eyelashes in there. Anyway. Yeah, so I did a portrait of Princess Catherine, and it didn't come out. It didn't look like her. If it wasn't supposed to be somebody, it would look like a nice portrait. It looks like a nice portrait of a pretty girl, a pretty young lady. But the problem is, it was supposed to be Catherine. It was supposed to be somebody you would know, and not just a portrait of an anonymous person. There we go. I think I like approaching digital paintings with the idea of it being somewhat impressionistic. I just think that's a good way to approach it, because that way it's more artsy and a little bit darker, I think. When I used to do portraits, most of the portraits I did before there was digital, and most of the portraits I did were done with pastels, soft pastels. And quite often I would use a projector to project the image onto the paper. Sometimes I used velour paper, sometimes I used just regular, like Hansen paper. And the reason I projected it and then traced it was because I wanted to make sure I got it right, because these were gifts for people, and they were, you want to make sure it looks like the people. You don't want it to be like slightly off. That's the trick to a portrait. Now, the way to do it without doing that is to do a series of sketches until you get it. Yeah, just do a series of them. If you ever try to do this and you don't want to trace them, just do a series of sketches. That's my advice. My advice, sir. Take my advice, sir. Get de-icer. That shows I'm old. If you remember that one, then you're old too. Take my advice, sir. Get de-icer. So you see we got the eye done. Now what I like about this lighting, I might exaggerate the lighting too, by the way, when we get deeper into the picture. See, I'm just taking the color from the photograph and I'm applying it to the painting.